Astronaut Buzz Aldrin, the second man to walk on the moon, announced that he married his longtime love, Dr. Anca Faur.
At 93 years old, Buzz Aldrin made headlines again, not for a new space venture, but for tying the knot with his fourth wife, Anca Faur. Known globally as the second man to walk on the moon, Aldrin continues to captivate the public, this time through his personal life. His unexpected marriage at such an advanced age brings a surprising twist to a life already filled with groundbreaking achievements and memorable moments. Early life and career beginnings. Buzz Aldrin, born Edwin Eugene Aldrin Jr. on January 20, 1930 in Montclair, New Jersey, was destined to reach great heights. His father, a military man and aviation pioneer, inspired young Buzz to take to the skies from an early age. Aldrin once reflected on his upbringing, saying, quote, "I grew up in a household that believed strongly in service and commitment. With a family background steeped in military tradition, Aldrin's path seemed clear. He attended West Point, graduating third in his class with a degree in mechanical engineering, and went on to serve as a fighter pilot in the U.S. Air Force. His time as an Air Force pilot saw him serve in the Korean War, where he flew 66 combat missions and earned 2 distinguished flying crosses. His military experience later proved invaluable, reshaping his resilience and sense of duty. By the early 60s, he set his sights on a new frontier, space. Aldrin's journey to NASA wasn't immediate, but his persistence paid off. In 1963, NASA selected him as part of its third group of astronauts. He was known for his determination and intellect, quickly earning a reputation as a skilled astronaut and pilot. "I've always been one to take on challenges head-on," Aldrin once said, a mindset that later made him an icon in space exploration history.
Do you know why you wanted to become an astronaut?
It, I guess, was the epitome of the perfect job for a fighter pilot or a test pilot. It enables you to go faster, higher, further. And I think that is what my life was all about.
Aldrin's early career built the foundation for the challenges and achievements that would follow, marking him as a figure driven by purpose and a willingness to test his limits. Apollo 11 and the historic moon landing. Buzz Aldrin's most defining moment came on July 20th, 1969, when he and Neil Armstrong became the first humans to set foot on the lunar surface during NASA's Apollo 11 mission. The event captivated the world, symbolizing the height of human achievement and marking a victory in the space race. Reflecting on the iconic mission, Aldrin once said, "There's something magical about seeing Earth from a distance. It changes your perspective forever." This monumental achievement made Aldrin and his fellow astronauts household names. The Apollo 11 mission was a meticulously planned endeavor, but it did have its risks. Aldrin and Armstrong faced numerous technical challenges, from navigating the lunar module's delicate landing to preserving oxygen levels for the return journey. Aldrin's role as the lunar module pilot was crucial to the mission's success, and his calm approach under pressure was widely admired. "We knew there were risks," he later explained, "but we had trained rigorously, and we trusted in each other and in the technology that NASA had built." As Aldrin stepped onto the moon's surface after Armstrong, he famously described the landscape as magnificent desolation. The phrase captured the barren beauty of the lunar surface, highlighting the surreal isolation of their location nearly 239,000 miles away from home. This achievement forever etched Aldrin's name in the history books, but it also changed him on a personal level. Quote, "Walking on the moon changed my life in ways I'm still discovering," he shared years later.
You were not the first man to walk on the moon, but you've actually talked about this. You were the first man to relieve himself on the moon. Is that true?
That is correct.
That is correct.
Well, no.
This is... You want to get to the...
But not on the moon. You know, you don't want to...
Yeah, you didn't unzip.
Marriages and relationships before 2024. Buzz's journey through marriage and relationships has been as eventful as his career, marked by moments of companionship, challenge, and eventual change. His first marriage, to Joan Archer in 1954, was a union that began in a time before his fame, when he was still building his career as an Air Force officer. Joan, a graduate of Rutgers University, was a stabilizing presence in his life, especially through the turbulent years following the Apollo 11 mission. But the pressures that came with global recognition after the moon landing strained their relationship. Aldrin later reflected on this period, saying, quote, "The highs of success and the lows of fame, it was like living on a different planet entirely." Their marriage ultimately ended in divorce in 1974, following 2 decades together and the birth of 3 children. After his divorce from Joan, he entered a brief marriage with Beverly Van Zyl in 1975. That lasted only 3 years as Aldrin struggled with the after effects of his fame and battles with depression and alcoholism. His second marriage ended in 1978 during a time when Aldrin was grappling with his personal demons. Years later, he acknowledged that the pressures he faced made sustaining relationships challenging, saying, quote, "It's hard to hold on to the people you love when you're still trying to figure out who you are after something as life-altering as the moon landing." In 1988, he married his third wife, Lois Driggs Cannon, a relationship that would last nearly a quarter century and become his longest-lasting marriage. Lois stood by his side during some of his most public endeavors and was a significant presence in his life as he continued to advocate for space exploration. She accompanied him to events, supported his work with the Share Space Foundation, and seemed to bring stability during his later years. However, their marriage also ended in divorce in 2012, marking yet another chapter of change in Aldrin's personal life. Reflecting on his past relationships, Aldrin has spoken candidly about the difficulty of balancing fame with intimacy, noting, quote, "I've made mistakes and relationships haven't always worked out. But every relationship has helped shape me just as much as my career has." Children and family life. Buzz Aldrin's family life has been a central, if sometimes challenging, part of his journey. From his first marriage, he has 3 children, James, Janice, and Andrew. His role as a father took shape during the peak of his career, when he was balancing the responsibilities of his groundbreaking work with the demands of family. Aldrin has acknowledged the difficulties he faced trying to be present for his children while managing the high-stakes pressures of his career. Quote, "Being a father has always meant a lot to me," he once shared, "but I know my career often kept me from the time and attention I wanted to give them." His children have, over the years, been both a source of strength and a reminder of his roots. James, Janice, and Andrew grew up in a household marked by their father's fame, and while Aldrin's career undoubtedly affected their upbringing, he has expressed pride in the people they've become. In later years, he sought a closer relationship with his children, reflecting on how family and legacy connect. Quote, "At the end of the day," he said, "family is who you come back to, and it's one of the legacies you leave behind." Marriage at the age of 93. In a move that surprised the world, Buzz Aldrin married his 4th wife, Anca Faur, in January of 2023 at age 93. The news was met with fascination and admiration as Aldrin continued to defy expectations professionally and personally well into his 9th decade. Dr. Anca Faur, a seasoned executive in the aerospace industry and vice president of Aldrin's Share Space Foundation, had been a supportive presence in his life before their marriage. She brought with her not only a professional understanding of Aldrin's life mission, but a shared passion for space and exploration, making them a fitting pair. Aldrin announced their marriage on social media, describing it as a mission they were embarking on together, expressing his joy at having a partner in life and in adventure. As Aldrin himself shared, quote, "It's never too late to find love and companionship. Love isn't bound by age or time. It's something you feel when it's right." Life and career ventures.
And that's the way it happened. And if it didn't happen, it's nice to know why it didn't happen. So in the future, if we want to keep doing something, we need to know why something stopped in the past that we wanted to keep it going.
Buzz Aldrin has remained a committed advocate for space exploration into his later years, a passion that has defined his life beyond his historic Apollo 11 mission. Following his retirement from NASA, he dedicated himself to pushing the boundaries of what space travel could achieve. He founded the Share Space Foundation in 1998, aiming to promote space education and inspire young minds to pursue careers in science and exploration. Now it's time to hear from you. Is 93 too old to get married? Let us know in the comments section below.